So Jessica was a new client.
Hi.
She came in with this amazing long blonde hair and was really ready for a change.
Emily,
How are you? You're
so
Jessica?
nice to meet you, yeah.
It's nice to meet you too.
Hi.
I'm so sorry I'm running behind schedule.
No worries.
So I was running a little bit late at that moment, and my consultation was not probably my best consultation. It was thorough, but not as thorough as it should have been. So what are we gonna do with this beautiful hair today?
I am ready to chop it off. Yeah, I
Wow.
just want I want something drastic and different, and I really want a bob.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
kind of what I'm here for.
What's going through my mind when someone comes in with long hair and wants a big change, most of the time I'm very excited about it. It's kind of a hairdresser's dream to be able to make a big change. But in the case with Jessica, I was running a little bit late, and so I was a little bit stressed out at that moment. So we're gonna send you back to the shampoo area, and we'll have one of the assistants get you washed,
Perfect,
okay?
thank you. Let's do this.
So how was your shampoo?
That's good.
Good.
It's always
Relaxing?
relaxing, yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna put this in a ponytail right now.
Okay.
We're gonna go ahead and get it secured. You ready?
Excited, yes.
Here it goes. You are gonna look gorgeous. So when I looked at Jessica and thought we were finished, ready? Mm-hmm. What do you think? I could definitely tell from Jessica's body language that she was less than pleased with her haircut, and I started to panic.
You know, no, it's
No,
it's okay. I know you're running
go ahead,
late,
tell
and
me, tell me. I could also tell that she felt uncomfortable expressing to me that she was unhappy. She definitely felt a little bit nervous and apprehensive about telling me what her wishes were. She probably would have left unhappy without telling me what she wanted. And it was really important to me that she get what she wanted for her service. It was her first time visiting me and visiting the salon, and I really wanted her to have a great takeaway from this experience.
I don't know. It looks a little plain.
It's a terrible feeling when you realize that your client's not happy. I had to reassess the situation and move quickly. So there's a lot of ways that you can handle this situation. I find personally that an apology goes a long way. This is my fault. I did not understand your vision.
Okay.
It is not a problem. You are not gonna leave here without getting exactly what you want. One of the worst ways a hairdresser can act is defensive or threatened. Because really, in the end, all that matters is that the client is happy, because they're a walking advertisement for you, and they're likely to tell all their friends about their experience. Okay. I'm gonna go to the front desk and let them know I'm just gonna be a few more minutes. You just sit tight. Okay. When I come back, I'm gonna bring my tablet with me, and you and I are gonna go through some photos and get you exactly what you want.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Not a problem. Mishaps are a drag, but they can always be fixed. So this time, I went through photos with Jessica, got a great idea of what she wanted. I definitely got a clearer picture that she was looking for something more modern and edgy. What I love about this one is it's definitely more graduated. Okay. So we are gonna do more graduation in the back, shorter to longer, A-line towards the front. Okay. So it'll be maybe a couple of inches shorter in the back. Okay. We're gonna have more of a definite fringe in the front, which a little bit more chewy and piecey, okay. And then some definite face framing around here to kind of set it all off. Does that sound better?
Yeah, no, that sounds
okay, definitely
much better.
A lot more up to date.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Yeah, that's what I want.
I went through the hair cut dry, since I'd already given her such a beautiful, thorough blow dry, and did more graduation, more layering, more stacking, a lot of texturizing, and created a lot of space and a lot of movement within the haircut. Cutting the hair dry after styling it, it's still slightly warm, so I was careful to section off in the same manner, but not do any twisting of the hair, so as to not crimp the end result. I split her head into quadrants, so moving in the same manner, sectioning the front of the hair from the back of the hair. I sectioned off gently with the clips. I started at the occipital bone. I needed to establish the new length. At that point, I decided to take the length up a couple of inches shorter using a finger-thick elevation and creating a little bit more of a A-line end result, continuing with a shorter to longer end result. I used a point cutting technique to soften the edges so as to stay in salon reality time and soften her end result. I moved up the head in a similar manner, taking careful attention to detail of not crimping the hair with the clip. At that point, I took a vertical section and established the graduation angle that I thought would be best for the end result. Pulling the hair out using even tension, fingertips pointed upward, holding the hair out at a 90-degree angle, I cut into the length. I sectioned the hair off in the same manner, and I'm working into more of a graduated shape. Holding it straight out at a 90-degree angle, I use my fingers to establish the graduation. I point cut that section to create a soft, edgy look. That section creates my guide that I use for the rest of the bottom section. I move section by section to the left in the same manner and the same degree of graduation, using point cutting technique throughout the bottom section. I continue in this manner until I reach the last section just behind the ear. And that section I overdirect to the previously cut section. I repeat these steps on the opposite side. I'm working my way up the head for maximum graduation at this point, and again, just point cutting to soften my end result. I check the back section by using my comb in a horizontal manner, using the same elevation that I originally cut the back. Holding the hair straight out, using the comb in a horizontal manner, I check for balance and I point cut any edges that seem thick or are slightly out of balance. As I move side to side, my direction goes diagonal. I finished graduating the bottom, and now moving into the top, taking deep point cuts to layer at the crown. Moving along in a traveling guide. A little bit of the previous cut section, and then over directing the last section back too. So increasing the graduation and softening that top line. I'm just working my way around the head. And again, looking for that shattered, tattered end result, as the client would refer to PC. In simple terms, PC is putting holes into a section so that it has a more textured end result. And just to diffuse any hard lines that I see, I just whittle directly into them. Whittling is opening and closing the shear in a downward movement to soften any harsh lines. I switch to a razor, still using the same finger angles and hand positions, and just sort of dusting over the ends to create more softness, to achieve a more seamless end result. The texture of her hair is a little blunt by nature, and so the razoring just offers me a little enhancement of those ends. The desired length is right where I want it, it's just a little heavy. So using my sculpted razor, I'm just creating some space for movement. This way, when I recommend the perfect finishing product, the pieces will be a lot more visible. Having given her a very precise graduated bob, I'm just going in and customizing the end result now, which is always fun. The area at the nape is too thick, so I'm going in underneath and taking out bulk, which just helps increase the graduation. Dropping the clips out of the sides to see where the current length fits in. Moving into the front, keeping in mind that this is the new guide. Using the high point as the new guide, I create a 1-inch wide section from the back of the head to the front length. I subsection to be able to handle it in my hand. Keeping in mind that this is the new guide, and working in a triangular section or shorter to longer manner, working up to the length in the front. That's the new guide. The center guideline has been established. Working now on the side of the body, taking a vertical section above the ear, including the new established length on the top, and keeping the length at the bottom. I'll be connecting the two. Keeping my elbow out and point cutting between the two lengths. I took some of the section previously cut and added more hair to it, and over directing the last section. The density of the hair dictates how many sections will need to be taken on the sides. The sides move pretty quickly. Seeing extra bulk, but liking the length, I stood behind the body to get a better angle at that extra bulk, chipping into it with deep point cuts. As I came to the front, I realized that the sides are a little bit long, so I took a little bit of added length off. Keeping in mind the graduation, but not wanting it to be too long toward the front. I cut the right side from long to short. I cut the left side from short to long. I cut from short to long on the left side for function. I'm right-handed and I can't turn my wrist over. Liking what I'm seeing lengthwise, I move into the interior of the cut. Going back to the center template to get adjusted on this side of her body. Holding it straight up, seeing my guide underneath, deep point cutting into the section. There is an equal amount of that center template on both sides. The template is my new guide. I take a vertical section an inch thick to connect the interior of the cut as done on the opposite side. The top guide and the bottom guide and connecting between the two. Taking a bit of the section previously cut, adding more to it, connecting the dots between the two guides. Taking the last section, over directing it to the back, I connect. Checking for balance. Combing the top section straight back and upward, I soften the point that's naturally created by this haircut. Going back to the pivoting sections to clean up any additional bulk that needs to come out. Going in, checking my work in the same pivoting sections, getting rid of any unwanted bulk, keeping in mind an edgy but somewhat seamless end result. I sort of fan my fingers. That spreads out the weight of the hair so that I can connect between the guides. Moving into the fringe section, establishing which is her comfort zone part-wise, which we've talked about. Using the outside of her eyebrow as my guide and taking my comb and establishing where the top of her head starts to flatten out is the guide for how far back the fringe will go. Clipping off the sides. creating a triangle. Keeping in mind that the density varies on each client and making sure to not cut too much into the recession area. Going in about 1/2 of an inch deep to start. Switching to a traditional razor, I establish the length that she's the most comfortable with. We'll be cutting shorter to longer, so I want to establish the longest length, the shortest length, and work to connect the two. I'm gonna split off this area of the recession and add to that after I cut the bulk of the section. I use the razor and cut the fringe from short to long, taking soft strokes. Try to use the same finger angle as the shape of the bang I'm going for. Creating a chewy, modern fringe. Pinch and cut. I then add more of the subsections to cut. Zero tension. Soft strokes, working my way down to the edge of that section. Taking the last section of the triangular shaped section and finishing her fringe. Creating a little bit of dimension and space, I'll go in and using the tip of my razor, add a little bit of texture. Dropping the section of the side out, ironing the flyaways. And move to the left side and add a little bit of the hair where it's thinner. This section of Jessica's hairline is thinner, not as dense. So I chose to add this section of the triangle last, so as to not overcut, hence customizing her fringe. At a point where I felt like Jessica was smiling and I could definitely sense her tension easing, I knew that I was heading in the right direction. Jessica, this is so beautiful on you.
Thank you. I know,
You
I love it.
surprised me. You came in with that long blonde hair. I thought you were going for the more traditional conservative bob. This is gorgeous
No,
on you.
that's
I
what
love
I
it.
like. Yep.
As I gave her more layering and more texturizing and clearly gave her a style that was more edgy, I could sense that she was happier. I'm just detailing it now and just customizing it more. So it's perfect for you and your hair. All right, let's get this product in.
All right.
So I'm adding a little bit of a light texturizing cream because I just want to show off all the pieciness and the texture to it.
Okay.
Just working a little bit into the palms of my hand, rubbing it together. Starting in the back so I don't over apply. Just starting at the root, working my way forward and also throughout the ends. And then any residual product that's left over, I can afford to go back into the top and just sort of pinch and piece and show off those beautiful layers.
Cool.
What do you think?
I love it.
I was really happy in the end that I was able to deliver the service that Jessica had visualized from the beginning. I was very pleased, and in the end, I think it blew us both away. I think we were both really happy.
I'm just so excited. I feel
Get
like
your hands in there.
I know. I'm like, I'm nervous to touch it.
No, touch it. The lesson I learned in this takeaway is that a thorough consultation is always the most important part of the appointment. It is definitely the fact-finding mission that every hairdresser needs to do. I think that hurrying for the sake of getting and staying on schedule doesn't always pay in the end. And most importantly, I think the apology just goes a long way. I know there was a tense moment for a while there, but I just can't thank you enough for being honest with me. I absolutely love it. I actually think this is a way better cut for you.
Thank you.
In the end.
No, I love it.
I think Jessica's really, really happy. I'm really happy, and I am sure that I have a client for life.